What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today I'll be taking a closer look at this Rotary Quartz GMT. This was kindly loaded into the channel by the Watch Shop, but it will be returned once the review is complete. The Watch Shop is a huge online retailer with a massive selection of both affordable and premium offerings. They offer great customer service, interest-free payment options, price matching on select models, and year-round sales, so you can always grab a good deal. More info at the link in my description. So Rotary are a brand that have a lot of history, though many seem to overlook them and only really now recognise them as a high street brand. But does that mean you should actually avoid them, or should you pay them more attention? Well, hopefully I'll be able to answer that today. So getting in depth with the Horizon, model number HGB 0000105. It measures in at just a hair over 40mm at 40.1. This increases to 43.2 if you include the crown. Lug to lug is a really manageable 47mm with an equally manageable thickness of 9.7 excluding the Cyclops. Lug width is a standard 20mm and the crown is 5.7. The case and bracelet are made from stainless steel, though I can't confirm as to the grade. It does however pack a confirmed sapphire crystal with a mineral Cyclops. 50 meters of water resistance is okay, though 100 meters obviously would be much better. The crown is a simple pull push and the case back is screwed down. Finally, all in, it weighs 110 grams sized up for me. Taking a gander at the watch, and we finally have a bezel with a little interest. Well, of course, that's not a diver. It's high polish and features a subtle step design to give it a little bit of a flourish without it being over the top. Shifting your eyes towards the dial, and here you can spot a sloped 24-hour inner ring, which helps with the GMT function. This is of course fixed and does have a really nice blue metallic finish, which nicely matches the dial. Around the ring you'll spot a series of small dots and numerals with a red 24 and Y everywhere else, just for that little pop of colour. Moving inwards again, and you have a cleanly printed minute track that's broken up with some applied indices. These are all small batons with the exception of the triangle under the 24. These are loom filled and bordered with a tasteful polished accent. At the 3 o'clock there is a small bordered date window, which is magnified by the Cyclops for easier legibility, and you know what? It works well. Under the triangle is Rotary printed along with their winged logo. Below that, and flanking the pinion, is an aeronautical inspired Horizon design which can be found in use throughout aviation. Below this is Horizon and GMT again printed. I like this, it's all done to a good standard and it really fits the travel theme of the watch quite well. Finally to the hands and dial, and we have a blue sunburst. This one is a little bit subtle and I wish it had a bit more punch. It matches the 24-hour ring quite nicely, and it is a very pleasant shade, though like I said, it's a little bit underwhelming. But on the flip side, it does actually make those white accents pop quite nicely, so that is a little bit of a trade-off between the two. To the hands, and they are a lance style that are angular and flared. These have a nice blue border, though that does somewhat disappear against the dial. Perhaps a different colour would have been a better option here. The second hand is a slender stick with a blue accented arrow tip and a circular counterbalance. The final hand is a tapered dagger style GMT hand, which is red tipped to of course match the rest of the accents. All in all, it works quite well together, apart from the blue accents on the hands and the dial blending a little bit much. Both sides of the watch are high polish, which is done to a nice standard. And apart from the downturn lugs, there's nothing else really to note here, save for the signed crown, which is polished and it sits at the 3 o'clock. To the case back, and again it's pretty solid. It's screwed down and has a mix of finishes with a high polished outer ring and accents, as well as a bead blasted central circle, which gives it a bit of contrast. So it's not incredible, but it's quite nicely done. You'll also spot the specifications around it and the model number too. Onto the included bracelet, and we have a 5-link style, though it's not a proper one and it's just fur. For the finish we have a mix of brushing and polishing for the accents, which is both done to a pretty good standard. We have female end links that do have a smidge of wobble, but the bracelet does have plenty of flex and articulation. The end links are also solid, which is a nice bonus. It's all held together by push pins and has solid links, which are polished at the sides. As for the clasp, it has 3 micro adjusts, polished sides and double pushers. The top shell is just pressed metal and has a brush finish with the Rotary logo and branding. The inner is also pressed and has a satin finish to it. It's basic, but it gets the job done, and I think milled probably wouldn't go amiss at this price point. On wrist, the Horizon wears true to size and fits snug on my 6-inch wrist. The curved down toned lugs and female end links really help bring the bracelet down nicely so it flows around my wrist. It sits nicely too with no overhang or gaps when viewed from the side. To fit my wrist, I removed 6 links in total, and there are still a further 2 that can be removed. I'm also only on the first micro adjust, meaning it will fit larger wrists and smaller wrists than my own, which is always nice to see. As for comfort, this watch is really nice. It's light, well balanced and fits just about perfectly. Can't really say much more than it's very nice to wear on a daily basis. To the movement, and it's using a Ronda 515.24H, which is a Swiss-made quartz GMT. It features 1 jewel, a up to 45-month battery life, negative 10 to plus 20 seconds per month accuracy, which is, I would say, probably below average at this price point. It also has a hacking seconds and uses a 371 cell battery if you ever need to swap one out. As for in use, it's actually really straightforward. One pull out of the crown and you can adjust the quick set date as well as the GMT hand if you turn it in the opposing direction. Fully pulling out the crown to the final stage and you can hack the seconds and adjust the time. This also moves the GMT hand so it goes according to the time and also depending on when you actually set it. The movement though is very smooth, has 0 horrible feedback and is reassuringly solid in use. The crown is nice too. It's small but does have plenty of grip and is easy to use when needed. Finally to the loom, and it has some, but I don't really know what compound is used. As for the actual prowess, it's okay. The hands do get reasonably bright and they do last a fair amount, but that is quickly let down by the poor performing indices. Bit of a shame, to be honest. As a whole, for the retail price of $279, it is a decent offering, though I think that is pushing it a little bit far. Yes, it's solidly made, really comfortable and has a good quality Swiss movement, but I think it's probably a £200 watch in reality. Give us an upgraded water resistance, milled clasp and better loom, then I'd probably be more inclined to say that at $279 it's a better deal. However, at the time of recording this, on the 9th of May, you can actually have this watch for £209 if you use the code provided by the watch shop. This model is also price match available, meaning you could even have it for less. So if you get it for around £200 or less, then it becomes a little bit more compelling. So to answer my original question, should we overlook Rotary? And I think we should definitely consider them. They do have a lot of good watches, and I think just because they're a popular brand on the high street doesn't mean that, us watch enthusiasts and others should ignore them. Yes, this one is a little bit pricey at full retail, but like I said, at £200, it's not a bad buy, especially if you want an affordable GMT if you travel a lot. So let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video if you enjoyed it, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads, and of course follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.